This is a light blast.
Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to Fabulous Friday. In a different location today. This is Friday, November 22nd, and we have a last quarter moon today. We've also entered Sagittarius season. Yay, finally. So this reading is for Friday, November 22nd through Thursday, the 28th of November 2024. Or you can use this as a timeless reading no matter where you find it. Now, we did have the momentous Pluto entering Aquarius earlier this week, and we are in Mercury retrograde shadow, which, and I brought my kind of homemade calendar in to this reading so we could just talk a little bit about, what's in the celestials, and then we'll pull out the cards for the week ahead. But already I'm getting, let's see, we've got Mercury retrograde begins on the 25th, so that's this coming Monday. And we're on our way to a new moon on the 1st of December. Right now we're in this kind of anything goes energy until next week when somewhere, I probably should have gotten the date, but somewhere in here there's a fire grand trine. I believe it is sometime next week in the skies. That's really, along with this Sagittarius energy, going to bring in these heightened kind of oomph power from the universe to push us to get things started and to get things going. So this is where, I can't remember when I talked about this, where I said there's kind of this juxtaposition of energies happening, because technically, let's see, we are in early winter here in the northern hemisphere, and with Samhain, but in the southern hemisphere they had Beltane, and they're on their way to the summer solstice. But there's this like springtime renewal energy, and it's not just coming up for our collective. I've heard it from other way showers as well, talking about this springtime feeling, this springtime renewal energy. And when I asked the cards and the guides that are already here with us, I've already wrapped us all in love light and light love. And I said, what cards do we want to use for next week? Because technically I would typically be putting more winterish type decks up with the readings at this time. But the guides were like, no, you need playful and you need springtime decks. And I'm like, springtime decks? This is so odd. Okay. So springtime, renewal, this heightened fun. I think that's all come in with Pluto in Aquarius, the Sagittarius season. And so no matter where you're at, I think even if outside we had a huge snowstorm. We had a huge storm a couple of days ago, which of course, it's winter here, brought all our temperatures way down. We had 50-mile-an-hour winds. It was almost a day and a half of really very strong winds. We did get a tiny bit of snow, I'll just pan the camera. We got an inch or two of snow. It's not really, thankfully, because I'm I cannot work when there's so much snow. I can't function in the outside world when there's so much snow. But the temperatures dropped. That's another thing, So now we're highs of the 20s, lows in the teens, and very soon, I think next week, I saw negative temperatures coming up. So it's full on winter here in good old North Dakota. But in the skies and in the celestials and in the astrology, which is really what drives our inner worlds, what drives our world around us, not just our inner world, but it drives what's in the skies, the celestials, the sacred geometry of the heavens, of the solar system, of the cosmos, and the things that happen with the planets and all of that are what drives our reality here on the planet. As above, so below. It brings about the circumstances and things we need to shift, change, grow. The season, all these things are kind of dictated by that. And your natal chart is really your blueprint of your 3D blueprint of your life in this lifetime, like what's supposed to happen and all of that. But we've had this huge renewal, and I listened to some forecasts for 2025 in the astrology, and I'm not really ready to dive into 2025 energies yet, but more of the outer planets are changing signs and going into beneficial signs. And so the energy of renewal and rebirth and really renaissance. Yeah, I'm getting I'm getting so many chills on the renaissance. This like almost like we're going into a new golden renaissance. Yes. So I wasn't in Renaissance. No, it was when Renaissance times, but I think that's kind of what we're headed to 2025 and beyond, is like this renaissance, this rebirth. So the decks that wanted to come out. Oh, I think one of the guides wants to come out too. Let me go grab my box of spirit guides. Pastel Journey Tarot wanted to come out. This is a deck I would typically use in the spring. Palladian Power. This is my deck. If you're new here, I also make little oracle decks. My deck Loveland. I've talked about this one before. This is the spring and autumn pack wanted to come out. And I'm going to grab my box of spirit guides, because sometimes we remember to draw one for the week ahead and sometimes we forget. But they're saying spirit guides. I'm like, okay. So let me get the box. Let's see what guides. And that kind of tells us a little bit too about the energy of the week ahead. So this is the box of spirit guides. These are all my guides that I've amassed from my spirit guide auctions that I used to attend from a soul sister way back when, like 10 years ago. And I've amassed, some of them are out of the box, so there's quite a few. They're all energetically bound to these little tchotchkes. Some of them I'm wearing, some I'm using on other altar spaces. There's about 30 some odd, but I'm going to close my eyes. I know you can't see my eyes, so I'm going to close my eyes and see what guide wants to come through to support us for this week ahead, this Friday the 22nd through next Thursday. We have Killing Cove dolphins, Benoy, and Adilla. Well, that's very playful dolphin energy. Very, and there it's a mated like pair. And these are dolphin spirits. So they were part of the Killing Coves in Japan. So they were dolphins whose lives were taken in Japan at the Killing Coves. And this particular soul sister works with many of those types of energies and brings forth spirit guides for, whoever wants them. It's a private group she has. She's still on Facebook and still has these auctions going on. Although I've gotten so many, I really don't really need any more, but it's kind of fun. And if anybody's interested in that or in her group, you can message me and I will send you her Facebook information. Okay, so let's get some cards out. So dolphin energy coming through again. And so they're a little bit, I like these. There's energies bound to this little glass bead is how she does them. She's dolphin wings. And then you can wear them or whatever. Put them on altar space. All right. So let's see in the cards just for the week ahead. And last time I drew cards for the weekend and the week ahead, and they ended up being kind of the same cards. So I'm just going to have these cards be, for the entire week. What do we want to talk about rather than trying to split them up into days? Let's see, we got 2 from the Pastel Journey. And I don't know about you, but the cards that came out for last week really did lay out. Really did. Well, of course they were. They're the energies of the week ahead. I'm a little goofy right now. I don't know. Oh, look. We got 2. Okay, 2, 3, and 2. So from the Pastel Journey Tarot, we got the 3 of Wands and the Magician. That's a 13. 13 is the Death card in the Major Arcana. But here we've got, let's not go any more Death cards. Oh my goodness. Let's see. And sometimes where they're placed is important too. We got full moon. Truths are being revealed about this situation. Bringers of the light. You are a bringer of the light. We all are here. And hopefully you'll join me on Sunday, on Bringers of the Light Sundays, where we do our channeled stories. We're working on Flying Potion this Sunday, so I hope to see you there. But Bringers of the Light is also too about a call to action. like call to divine service work. It could be land guardianship. It could be whatever you do is your divine service work on the planet. This week you're being called up. So it could be, more, they're saying spirit is going to be giving you some new assignments this week. So pay attention. And then angel faith, I just keep showing up for myself. Having faith in the process, having faith in your manifestations. And then from Loveland, we got alternate dimensions. When you just know you've met somewhere before, coming out with spirit guides. Will you allow us to help? This is kind of like this relief card that I have in my other deck, my hand-drawn deck, which is like relief is being offered. Do you accept it? But it's coming out together with this alternate dimensions when you just know you've met somewhere before. So let me just, and they're having me place these like this. So 232 might be a significant angel number because they're having me place the cards again like 232. And I will, let's see if I can get in on the cards a little bit more. Let's start from the top and move down. So the Magician, obviously you're creating your own reality. And the Three of Wands, I think, is still this forward thinking mode. So the guides are saying don't look back now because the door has closed from the old life to the new life. The whole Pluto and Capricorn thing, the whole trudging up the mountainside, Mount Little Billy Goat Gruff or whatever, was that a story, is over now. And although, I do understand that, I feel that, I sense that, but still the outer reality hasn't really changed very much. So if I look around my physical world or the things that are happening in my physical world, I would challenge that and say like, well, still nothing in the physical world looks any different. Does it really feel any different? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. So what's going on there? We're the Magician. We're supposed to be forward thinking. So how does that apply to the week ahead? Yeah, I guess that's this keep going and continue to have faith in your dreams. They did say, everything doesn't manifest all right at the beginning of this time. So yeah, they're saying it's the trickle down. Because they had me start here and they wanted me to kind of go like this, like the trickle down effect. But what is the trickle down effect? Oh, I get it. Because when you manifest, I get it. When you manifest, things are coming from the vortex or from the energy world down, down into the physical world. And so trickle down effect means it's kind of just that, trickling down, not gushing down. So all the things because many of you have had long held things that you've been working on, myself included. I told you guys, if you've been here a while, I've been writing some of the same manifestation lists for, years now. And they're like, they keep telling me we're beyond that now. You're already reaping those rewards as we speak. Okay. So we're already reaping those rewards as we speak. So this has come up before where it's like, well, you don't have to write those same lists anymore. Although I did go in, I think we are at 0 degrees of Pluto and Aquarius. And with this Sag energy, I really feel like things are taking off. And, things could change at any minute. We have this anything goes energy right now, this heightened magical influences. And I asked the guides to show us, like, where are these new gates? So if you are wanting like a big life change, even smaller things, I think smaller things, you're able to just manifest those like right away. Like you need something, you're able to manifest it. With very little delay, they're saying. The bigger things that you've been working on that you felt like were held back from you, during this Pluto and Capricorn time, this last 16 years. They're saying that was all part of the path. That was all supposed to happen. Those things have all been building up in your vortex, and they will be trickling down and coming to you slowly but surely. But they're being managed, yeah, with the spirit guides card. They're being managed by the higher realms, your guides, this whole alternate dimensions thing. They're being managed in such a way that, you know, it's not like so shocking when things come up. They want the energies to be in a very specific place, so that you just like glide into these new realities, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. You know, whatever. You just glide. I think it's easier, and it's not. They're just saying so that they don't shock you so much. So not shocking in a bad way, I guess. But what's the analogy to that? Say you've been waiting. Oh, okay. So it's like the right place, right time kind of thing. So it's like, say you've been waiting for somebody to contact you that's something you've been wishing for. Like, oh, I wish I could hear from so-and-so. And you know that when you hear from so-and-so, it's going to be like momentous. You know, you're going to be like, you're probably going to be in tears and all this. Well, you wouldn't want to get that phone call when you're like driving down the highway or whatever. Because, oh my gosh, you'd be like, what? If that happened to me, I'd be like, what? I'd be like freaking out. I'd have to probably pull over. I'd probably have to get out of the car. So, you know, they're waiting for this, like everybody's really relaxed. Things are just kind of chill. Maybe you're on a break. In this case, we have in the US, we have Thanksgiving week next week. So maybe you're on some sort of like vacation break. You're just chill. You're doing your thing. And if you're the person, like, we'll just go back to this example. If you're the person reaching out to somebody, you know, you're very chill. You're having your, I don't know, you're having your Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know how this works. And then, you know, you're guided to take action to do something. And the person on the receiving end is in the right place at the right time. It's all about like a story I told about way long about how I was guided to reach out to somebody. And they were just like down to the minute that Spirit told me to call this person. Like, you're supposed to call this person at 7:12 Pacific time on this date, 7:12 p.m. And you're supposed to go to this beach. And you're supposed to stand there and you're supposed to call this person. That's what they told me. I mean, it was very, very specific. And I knew that like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. I knew they had given me the exact time, the exact date. And I swear to you, when I went, I followed it. I did as they asked, which is this, be true to yourself. I went to that beach on that date, on that time. I picked up my phone. I made the phone call, and it was like, the person answering the line was like, oh my God, it's so funny and weird that you're calling me right now, because I'm right now getting ready. I'm right now walking up the door to talk to this person. And here, let me hand them the phone so you can talk to them. And it was just like so crazy. So I think that's the kind of like this alternate dimensions. That's the energy of this week ahead. This anything goes, you don't know. Especially with this new moon coming up on the 1st. It's like, you know, bide your time, I guess. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. I kind of want to change that to like, we'll see. We will see. Not we'll see like, oh, that's going to happen. We'll see if that's going to happen. But more like, we will see. Like with our third eye, we will see what's going to happen. Almost kind of like right before it happens, you're going to feel the energy building up to these things. So it feels like this week ahead is all about manifesting. The moon cycles are going to be congruent for manifesting with the new moon. You know, the energy leading up to the new moon on the 1st. You're going to be busy too. I think the thing also, the right place, right time energy is you're going to be busy with your bringers of the light work, so that you can't really sit there and keep going like, when is it going to happen? Is it happening yet? When is it going to happen? Is it happening yet? Is it coming? Is it still happening? Why isn't it happening yet? You know, all those little things that I could fall into those very easily now, because I'm like, you know, I could go, the perception is a big one too this week. The perception of like, you know, I could go to like, it's another winter. Here I am again, still waiting. But from all that I've heard, from various way showers who are very plugged into the astrology right now, that Pluto is in Aquarius at 0 degrees until the end of December. And it's this pure potentiality, this 0 point energy space, which is like anything is possible at this time. Anything while we're at these 0 points. They're not really void spaces. The 0 point is like a whole new, like the whole door is open kind of space. And this is a great place also to create your new manifestations that you want. No need to keep writing the same ones that you've been writing for 4 years or 8 years or 10 years or whatever, because your guides are like, that work is already done. They've already done the work to manifest those things for you. Those things are going to slowly start trickling down and manifesting from the energy world, from your vortex, down into physical reality. Now it's time to look beyond that and use this 0 point space to manifest things you hadn't maybe thought of before. So the other day I was looking at Instagram, and I haven't traveled or done anything since 2017. I haven't been on a vacation. And Instagram came up and it was like Disneyland Paris. And I was like, Disney has a theme park in Paris? I want to go to that. And so I brought out my list of all the places that I say, when me and my person, if they ever get here, are going to go to all these places. I have making a list of all these places that I want to go and I want to travel to. So I added, Disney Paris. So keeping those things kind of up to date. That's the kind of, this energy is kind of ripe for that. All right. So they want me to get one more card from the Ancestors deck. All right, so we have got the Embroidered Graveyard. This is a very beautiful deck. I use it every day. And let's get one more card for this week ahead. What is this? I can't, what the heck is that? I'm gonna get the book. I can't read the font. But it's like a siren and a man in a boat. Card number 36, which is a 9. So let's read this card number 36 because the book is very good here. And let's see. What's card number 36? Here's the book. The book is just as beautiful as the deck. Maybe you should this week too, like let yourself get distracted by shiny things. You can take your mind off. Sometimes I'm like, just let me take my mind off the 3D world for a little bit. I think it's saying temptress. Yeah, temptress. The siren song. Sea salt kisses and golden horizons lull you into a false sense of security. A storm of golden scales rolls up from the deep. Just show the picture again. You are captivated by temptation, stolen away by the romance of adventure. Adventure is such a thrill because of the danger. It is the fear of danger that shows us we are truly alive. Get comfortable with death. I like this book I just read. I'm hearing the voice. Get comfortable with death using the Observing My Fear of Death spread on page 240, and maybe petition to the sirens for a luck-filled adventure and protection. This book has a bunch of rituals. So Temptress reminds us that death, didn't I see death somewhere? The death, was I just talking about death? Oh, 13, I was talking about the death card. Temptation reminds us that death isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's not blood and battle, but instead it's the romance of adventure that is thrilling, but can turn quickly deadly. Oh, all right. As you stare into the setting sun, reflecting off the gilded horizon, it's easy to be lulled, and there's not easy to be lulled into a false sense of security. What looks calm and golden in the afternoon sun can become dark and dangerous in a matter of hours. Navigate these waters carefully, or an irresistible salty kiss is the last thing you'll ever taste. This sounds so dreadful. Your skull resting at the bottom of the ocean, heaped with the other souls that were also led astray at the sea. Your guides are warning you to be alert. The siren calls to you. If you flirt with death but don't like it when I flirt back, trust your gut, keep your head, and try not to end up at the bottom of the sea. This is so crazy. Your bones caressed by dark sand, your skull massaged into an eternal slumber by lulling waves. Or do you risk your life, take the chance to steal the kiss, and sail off into a sunset, another day of life earned until you meet me again? Life is your adventure. You always have the choice. I think that's a big romance message. I think it's many messages. Take what resonates. But something's calling you with this siren song. And are you going to take the risk and reap the rewards? Is it going to be, this is all the perception too, is reality. Is it going to be as scary as you think it's going to be? No, because your guides would never purposely lead you into some scary, situation. I saw 2444 on the timer. So trust the guidance that you're getting. And I think with this, be alert. This is like be ready to take action at any time. If something comes to you, like if your guides come to you and say, be here on this, it's the same thing. Be here on this date at this time. Go to this restaurant at this time. Go do this, something like weird and out of your normal schedule. Go over here and do this. And you're like, I've never really done that. Like, well, try it, see what's going to happen. Kind of like that, you never know who you might meet or who might show up or when your phone might, ding when you're over here, and it'll be so memorable and you'll remember it forever. So it is that pure potentiality, these heightened magical influences of this week ahead, all the way through to the 28th, that are going to be pushing us to become our best selves, help us manifest those things that have been waiting in the wings for quite some time, and just helping us, stay balanced between the 3D world and the magical realms where I like to hang out as much as possible with this Killing Cove dolphins. I think they're an interesting juxtaposition as well, because they're spirit dolphins, right? They're supposed to be like, oh, happy-go-lucky and woohoo, but they came from the Killing Coves where they were like brutally slayed by, I don't know who does it, like people in Japan. It's still a thing too, because my son and I looked it up the other day. We were seeing something about the Killing Cove. It came up when we were watching something, and I was like, look that up and see if this still happens. And he was like, yep, it still happens. So I'm like, okay. So, oh gosh, here is a 3D. Well, let me go play with these dolphin spirits instead. All right, so let me see if there's anything else the guides have for us. Okay, they are complete. I'm complete. And I hope to see you on Bringers of the Light Sunday. We'll dive into these energies a little bit more with our channeled stories. Flying Potion, they keep saying pumpkin pie latte, but that's a book that's already out there. All of my books that are already published are all out there on ebook. They're all free to read. If you're interested, you can download any of them. Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes & Nobles. Links to everything I talk about are always in the show notes. You can join us over on Patreon. And this month, we're doing a special mini lab for financial self-mastery. And I'll be getting ready tomorrow to drop the next in that course, in that mini lab, into our Patreon, which is a members-based platform. You can join for free, but to get access to everything, you can access certain collections and just, like a store, buy those individually, or you can come join us on the membership and see more of what we have to offer there. Oh, that's right. And I think Sunday, I have a special surprise on Bringers of the Light Sunday. So I'll be dropping some new merch in the Bringers of the Light Redbubble store. So I hope to see you there. And until then, we will catch you all again soon, somewhere in the astrals, at TLC for the Soul. Take care.